Welcome to Poll Tracker. This is the last Poll Tracker for the year 2025. How time flies. Well, this is the last show of Key Point for the year 2025. That's how far the Lord has brought us. We want to say thank you to you for staying with us every step of the way. But welcome. This Poll Tracker is a segment that we introduce on the show this year to ensure that we have data-driven conversation as well as part of the entire package that we present to you. And thank you for the tremendous feedback and the endorsement of this part of the show. We're going to continue next year, much bigger and better. That's a promise to you. But it's data-driven conversation that borders on the economy, politics, the environment, anything that's of concern to you, the Ghanaian people, captured in data. You'll find it discussed here on the Poll Tracker. This morning, who wins the 2026 NPP primaries? That's the presidential primaries. That's the question that Global Info Analytics asked the people that they polled. This is the last for the year, but not the last before the presidential primary on the 31st of January 2026. I'll be finding out from the man behind the polls whether, in fact, how many polls we should expect before January 31. But in a little over a month away from now, which is maybe some 35 days from today, all things being equal, the NPP will go to the polls to elect the flag bearer to lead their campaign into election 2028. Today, the 27th, add that, you see it. Musa Dankwa went around the country, and this is how the picture looks like. The sample size, the people that he engaged. In fact, questions have been asked as to whether it is representative enough, because looking at the number of NPP delegates, was some 3,521 people that he polled be representative and reflective of the views, concerns, aspirations, expectations, opinions of the people. Confidence level, he says 99%. That if that election was held today, says he's confident, 99%. This, what I'm going to show you was going to be the outcome. A margin of error of a little over 2%, plus or minus. This is the education level of the people that he polled. We're going to put that on the screen right now. Tertiary, senior high school, and then you have no formal education, that's about 10%. And then also you have the junior high schools. Gender, that is it. And how things look like right now. And this is the question that he asked likely voters. This is the December poll. We took the December poll because last month, in the month of November, there was also another poll, which a lot has changed with what you're seeing in December now. Then the December poll, the number of persons that he polled, 45% of the likely voters said that if elections were held today, their favorite is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. That is short of the 50+1, by the way. Just keep that in mind. Kennedy Ohene Japan, 31%. That's a very impressive appreciation from November, and we'll show you. And then 3% for Dr. Brian Champong. He would have to explain to me what this 0% really means, because these people have been going around the country. So what is 0%? But the man is here himself. What we are seeing is just percentages. Absolutely. Percentages with bar graphs on it, but there's a message behind every bar that you see, and every statistic or percentage that you see, and every picture that you see on this board. Musa Dankwa is Executive Director and Lead Researcher for Global Info Analytics. He's joining us in the studio. Mr. Dankwa, it's always good to have you. Good morning.
Good morning, our friend.
Thank you for making the time to be here.
It's my pleasure.
It's the last show of the year, 2025. How's the year been for you?
It's been very hectic, very busy, especially when we didn't plan to do NPP primaries around this time.
True.
So it has forced us to kind of front load our budget on CSR, which is what we use to fund this program. So it's kind of destabilized our finances a bit, but we are committed to doing.
So you use CSR funding to do
this? Yes. We earn money from corporate clients and other people who want to do personal research, which we don't publish. And from that funding, we are able to fund some of these things. And also, we don't do it as a full cost because these are internal costs. We don't put markup on it. So we are able to afford it in the field. When you come to us for the same data, it will cost you probably 10 times more.
I see, 10 times more than the money you use to do this for free for people.
Yes.
But because that was one of the questions I was going to ask you, where you get your money from. Where do you get the money from to do all this?
Actually, we have a bit of information on our corporate website where we tell you who our clientele are.
I see.
And those clientele are not small sole trader businesses. They are corporate clients.
So none of these persons are funding you?
No.
Nobody's giving you money to do this?
Absolutely not.
Really?
No.
I see.
No.
How do you pay your staff?
From what I've told you, we have budget. We pay salaries. We have about 15 people in the office and about 300 and something people in the field. Those are volunteers. We don't pay them on a regular basis. We pay them as and when there's an assignment. So it's much easier for us to deal with a small number of people in the head office, whereas when the job comes in the field, we pay them on pay-as-you-go basis.
I'm asking you these questions, not of my own.
I know.
Dr. Brian Champong has been asking these questions of you.
I'm sure he knows the answer, but he doesn't want to be...
He knows the answer.
He knows the answer. He knows the answer.
The answer to the questions he's asking?
Yes.
As to how you are funded?
Yes.
And why are you so interested in NPP flag bearership?
No, we're interested in everything that is public opinion and polls. And look, there are global clients who wants to know who will be Ghana's president in 2029. And that starts from here. Who will lead NPP first? And then who will lead NDC? And then from that crop, you will determine who will win the 2029 elections, the 2028 elections. So there are global clients who want to know. So if they don't want to know, fine. There are those who want to know, and we are serving their interest.
Interesting. I see. And I'm sure you heard him ask those questions of you. So that's why. But then again, there are others who are interested in this. So you've answered it. But look at this. I want to understand the difference between likely voters and committed voters. What does this mean?
Okay, let's go back.
Okay.
When you talk about the likely voters, these people are likely to show up on election day to vote. Those who said they are voting for Bawumia 45%, they will show up. Those who said Kennedy 31%, they will show up. Those who are saying Brian 3% will show up. Those who are saying it was 0.4 or so for this gentleman, they will show up.
I mean, Dr. Yao said...
Yeah, it's 0.4, but we didn't want to run the numbers to the decimal numbers.
I was looking at 0%.
We've put out the further details that gives the entire or specific numbers, frequency, and
they have been going around the country. They have their billboards around. I see
the numbers are quite negligible. That's why it is like that.
Community Japan, you also put 0% there. Why?
I don't put. That's the response we got from the delegates.
Really?
Yes.
So this is a delegate poll?
Delegate polls, yes.
You spoke to this number of delegates, 3,521.
Absolutely.
How representative is this? Taking into consideration the total number of delegates who are going to show up on the day, all things being equal, that's January 31.
Alfred, when you are sick and you go to the hospital, and they want to see if you have malaria or whatever it is, they draw a small, tiny blood from you. It's a sample, called a sample, isn't it?
Right.
And from that sample, they can determine what's wrong with you.
Okay.
They don't need to take the entire blood from your system to check what is wrong with you. Because the blood they've taken comes from the entire system.
Right.
Again, if you prepare a soup and the soup is ready to be eaten, you don't take a big bowl to drink to see how the soup tastes. A teaspoon will be sufficient to tell you how the food. So this is a statistical tool that has been used over centuries, and that works. For me, what people should be asking for is what is your confidence level and your margin of error. That is where the attention must go to, and not the absolute numbers that they're looking for.
So you are 99% confident?
Yeah, that if the election was held today.
This election, this NPP presidential primary was held today.
Yeah.
This will be this is going to be
subject to this undecided and undisclosed, which we would be able to deal with if we were doing predictions based on these numbers.
I see. We'll come to this because questions have been asked about this as well. But let me welcome as well while we do this, and we'll get straight into it. Professor Godfred Bobkin is a professor of finance at the University of Ghana, Legon, specifically the business school. Professor Godfred Bobkin, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, good morning. Merry Christmas.
Many happy returns
Merry
to you.
Christmas to our cherished listeners and viewers. It's nice to be here as we end the year by God's grace. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And I'm happy seeing my boss here.
Yeah, you just roped him in. So let me just say, Martin Luther Kpebu.
Yes, sir.
Yes, is here with us. Council, good morning. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Council. It's good to be here once again. You know,
another fedora.
Yes. So now, who taught us last week? There is a club fedora. Maybe now she was a various clubs. Since we know there's somebody who knows better.
That's right.
Yes. So once again, it's good to be on Ghana's #1 talk show, right? Yes. Undisputed, unparalleled. Yes, we've shattered all the charts, right? Yeah, for the past 3 years, and so we are thankful to the people of Ghana for seeing the right channel, right, the right station to follow, because here we are unfiltered. Nobody tells us what to say, etc. You see, when we first started that, Oforiatta wasn't up to it. He hadn't been doing this work for decades as other stations had been allowing people to say. Eventually, you saw Kweku Rikitshagen came here and said, look, Oforiatta, he was the one who brought Oforiatta and Togbe Afede to learn from the big boys. Meanwhile, we're told that, Oforiatta had been issuing bonds for decades. Meanwhile, when did we start going to the bonds market? One big lie that through this platform, we're able to break that myth, the lies that he was already accomplished. He was issuing bonds. Meanwhile, they couldn't show where. Right? When he had learned as an apprentice under Kweku Rikitshagen's time as Deputy Finance Minister. Many other things. So this is the right channel. So thank you for making this program the biggest. So in the same way, we would thank Sofo Kufu Yasantua for all the good work. Yes, more fire Yasantua. The same to Domahini. The same to Togbe Afede, Togbe Akpekaka, right? I'm going to improve my ever very soon. Next week, you will hear more ever from me, right? And all the men,
to me.
Yes, men above 40, please keep checking your prostate health. Very, very important. We don't want to lose you needlessly. The people in the nation are our best resource. So once you're above 40, please, it doesn't cost much to check, right? And then a reminder to Kisi Ejabi as he exits the OSP. We will need to get into that 52.5 billion matter, that money that moved from the GCB account to unknown sources. That's the petition that Mike Kofi Aflu, the chairman of the Financial Intelligence Center, presented to the Office of the Special Prosecutor.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Council, for this. And we're back into, because all of this you talked about feeds into governance, right? It feeds into the concerns of people. And today, this focus on the NPP primaries on January 31. Musa Dankwa, you were just explaining what the likely voters are and who the committed voters are. Please.
If you go to the likely voters model, here, any delegate who say he would vote, whether he's voting for Baumia, Kennedy, Brian, Edichum, or Japan, his voice is counted.
Right.
As well as those who say, I'm not disclosing to you. He will show up, but he hasn't said who he will vote for.
Right.
And then those who say, we are undecided, their views are there. So those who say, I will not vote, I won't show up to vote, their views has been removed from the analysis, but there's no point counting them in, but they won't come.
Okay. I see. But then again, why do you always have this population of undisclosed voters, undecided voters being that huge, 11%, 9%? It's capable of making a lot of impact and changes to the first two, especially.
Absolutely. Remember, this is just the headline polls. We haven't done anything to these numbers. Those who say they will not tell us who they are voting for, it's 11%. Of the 10 sample that we engaged.
Right.
And those who said they were undecided, It's 9%. The question is, realistically, how many of these undisclosed will vote for either of these candidates? It's for you to determine if we were doing predictions. We are not there yet. So we've let the numbers as they are. And then be able to realistically say, okay, those who are undecided, how would they vote? How would the split happen? Then you make that decision based on the modeling of certain answers you got from the other earlier questions. So we would get to that point in the final poll, which is in January. Then we can model the outcome based on what we understand the race to be.
I see. Now, so what is the committed voters? Who are
Here,
these?
people who were brave,
To stick out their neck.
stick out their neck.
Openly say,
Openly.
this is the person I'm going to vote for.
Absolutely. When you use those people as the frame to do the analysis, the computation, then you realize that a lot more are opting for Baumia proportionally
Right.
than Kennedy, than the rest. Now, the trick here is that if we didn't have the undisclosed voters, this could have been the outcome of the elections.
Right. Okay. So if we didn't have this bracket of
No, just this one, this one.
This undisclosed.
Yes.
11%.
Yes.
You would have gone with
This one. You know why?
Tell me.
Because in a race, the undecided normally break in the way the race is shaped.
True.
People who are undecided will not make somebody losing a winner. Only when we have a scandal on the leading candidate, that suddenly becomes new information they have to process. And that could let a leader lose the momentum, and those who are undecided may go to the challenger. Once there's no scandal, they will break the way the race looks.
I see. So and that could actually make a big difference because, look, if you're adding the 11% we saw there to any of the two,
Yes.
it could make a big difference. It could widen this gap. If it's added to this, it could actually then
create a situation.
create a
Now,
situation.
what we are seeing is that in an unlikely scenario based on this data, we don't see Kennedy overtake Baumia in the first round.
So what you're saying is, if this committed voters module is what we're going with,
Yeah.
Dr. Mahmoud Bamiyan
Yes.
will take it.
Yes.
But then there's undisclosed.
Undisclosed. The funny thing about those undisclosed is that some of them had in the past voted for Baumia.
But now they don't want to disclose.
They say they undisclosed.
I see.
So will they actually stick with him, or they will abandon him? $1 million question.
Interesting. So if I get the sense, you have the profile of all these delegates you engage every now and then. So you're able to know who they said they will vote,
Yep.
who they voted for in
Last
the
time,
past.
yes.
And why they are saying they are undisclosed now. So you see the changes
We have a bit of idea. Look, there are a lot of data we have. For example, if you look at the data we put out, we ask them how favorable or unfavorable do you see a candidate?
Right.
Oh, favorable, unfavorable. At the moment, on favorability rating, Baumia is 92% overall.
Overall.
Plus
92%.
favorable rating.
But that's
Ken is 85.
92, 85.
85. That tells you that somebody is in the lead based on favorability rating.
Right. I see, but 92, 85 is close. It's not, but then again,
That's
yes,
why the election will be closer than last time.
because in 2023, I think it was quite clear. But then again, now we know the difference between the committed and the likely.
Yes.
Because the likely, the difference there is the undisclosed voters. That's what makes the big difference in
Yes.
the likely voters. What we are seeing right now is the month-of-month change. Because this month-of-month change is important to understand the changing dynamics of the run-up to this presidential primary.
Yes.
The ash bar that we have on the board represents the November polls that Musa Dankwa did. The blue bar represents the outcome of the December poll based on the likely voters. In November, the delegates you polled said 43% of them said if the elections were then likely voters, they were going to vote for Dr. Mahmoud Bamiyan. Fast forward to December, it increased to 45. So he had a 2 percentage point
Increase.
advantage. But if you look at Kennedy Onye in Japan, In November, 18% of the likely voters said they were going to vote for him. Now look at December, 31%. 31%. That's about a 13 percentage point jump. That's against a 2 percentage point jump for Dr. Amonu Bawumia between last month and this month. But then you see Dr. Bayane Champon as well now reducing in numbers. And then the others that you keep putting 0% there, they are there. But then the not undisclosed or not disclosed in this one has also reduced from last month to this month, 15% to 11%. But we don't see that directly reflect. So where is Canadian Japan getting the 13 percentage points increase from?
Now you see that the undecided dropped by 10 points. Undecided.
Yes, 19 to 9%.
9%.
Yeah.
10 points. The not disclosed from 15 to 11. That's 4 points.
True.
So if you add the 4 plus 10, 14.
True.
Brian dropped 2%.
That's 16.
So you can see that Kennedy got 13, Bawumia got 2, 15, and slightly little movement around here that you can see.
Interesting. So the big chunk of this difference was shared between Dr. Mahmoud Abiy and Kennedy Japan. But obviously, Kennedy Japan had the bigger share of the pie.
Yeah.
And then you have the other two as well.
Yes.
Chipping in. But now what that means is, if what you're saying is anything to go by, the undecided voters are now deciding, or they actually in December decided to come out and say, well, now we've decided this is the person we're going with, Kennedy Japan.
Yes.
So Kennedy Japan benefited
hugely
from the undecided who have now decided. So from 19% to the 9%.
Yes.
Do you see this trajectory continuing of the undecided now deciding to as it were go for Kennedy Japan?
I mean, the projection at the moment is that, from my analysis, we may have hit real bottom for undecided. They will remain at this high probably by the next poll. What we want to see is whether the not disclosed would move heavily towards the candidate. Now, I was hoping that the undisclosed would rather reduce significantly compared to undecided.
Right.
But that just came down marginally, which made me believe that I can't bet that all the not disclosing are Kenneth voters.
Right. You can't put your neck on that.
Exactly. Because even among people who are saying they are not disclosing, some of them had in the past voted for Bawumia before.
Oh, right.
So
and now they are switching.
No, now I think they are not disclosing.
They are not disclosing.
So are they not disclosing for Bawumia or for Kennedy? I can't tell. I may have to use other means to see what their thinking is.
Well, the Honorable Andiapia Kubi is joining us as well. He is a former member of parliament for the Asachachim North constituency. He's a private legal practitioner. He also is in good standing. Honorable Andiapia Kubi.
I have paid. In fact, Martin will bail me out. I have paid my subscription for a year.
Honorable Andiapia Kubi, good morning. Welcome.
He will disclose the identity of the businessman as the last Saturday of the year. The businessman who carried money in Ghana must go. Plenty. The last Saturday of the right? That's for the program.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, and Merry Christmas to you all and my colleagues and friends in the house, and also to the generality of the Ghanaian citizenry.
Perfect. It's good to have you. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. And we're on a path which, I know you've been following for quite a while now. Let's look at this. What is the neighbor's effect? What does it mean?
And this is a model that was used in America in 2016.
Right.
Remember, Trump's voters were very cagey, not open, and you can't really tell what they want to do on election day.
Yeah.
That's why many pollsters got it wrong, because the people are not telling them the truth. Just like we're experiencing not disclosed, the same phenomenon. So what we try to do is to ask you as a delegate, who do you think your friend delegate is voting for?
Right. Okay.
You are a delegate. Who do you think your friend delegates are voting for?
I see, because they have conversations.
Yeah, conversations.
You know, they obviously would have
Absolutely.
then sat to decide who they are voting for.
Absolutely.
Okay.
When you do that, you see Baumia losses what? 1%.
Just about that. Yes. True.
So, but Ken lost 3%.
True.
From 31 to 28.
True.
Brian lost what? Under 1%.
True.
The rest, let's not probably mention them. So this tells me that the race, people believe that Baumia is going to win.
Okay. But then again, he hasn't crossed the 50.
But
50 plus 1.
when you do that neighbors effect, he suffered only 1% drop.
Okay.
Kennedy suffered how many?
3%.
3%.
I see. But you at this point, with what you're saying now, why would you want to stick your neck out this way?
No, because most people are saying that they believe their fellow delegates are voting for Baumia.
Oh, right. So then it adds up to what we have seen previously.
Exactly. It confirms, even though they all decline in a way, but Kennedy declined a lot more than Baumia did. So what they are saying to us is that they believe their friend delegates are voting for Baumia much more than Kennedy.
I see. But then again, you see that as well. The numbers haven't changed for these two.
No.
And that is where you did a possible runoff situation.
Yes.
And this is important because, taking into consideration what we have seen in the previous slides, none of them is crossing 50 plus 1.
No.
So you assume that all things being equal, based on your own polls, if there's a runoff, this is it.
This is what they are telling us. Among those we spoke to, Baumia goes to 47%, 2-point increase. Kennedy goes to 32%, 1-point increase above the main race. Then you have undisclosed, now it's about 11%. Undecided, 10%. Now, where we are, if we assume that Kennedy will win all the undisclosed,
I see.
if you assume that, he goes to what?
43.
43%. Baumia is hovering at 47.
Yeah.
He needs just 3% of the 10.
That is the undecided
Yes.
to cross that 50.
If the next poll remains like this, then we can fairly make predictions based on that number.
I see. You talk about the next poll. How many polls are you going to do before January 31?
What we're doing is that we're going to be doing weekly poll, but we won't put them out. Every week from next year, we'll do every week a number of delegates and tracking them to the last 4 weeks. And then we'll publish the combined result of the 4 polls we'll be doing before the primary, so that we will not be taken by surprise.
I see. So the weekly one is going to be for your own personal
Yes, yes, it won't come out.
You obviously share with me. So, but yeah, that's just by the way. Let me welcome Justice Abdullah, he's private legal practitioner. Justice Abdullah, good morning.
Good
Thank
morning,
you for
Alfred.
joining us.
And thank you for accepting me being late.
On the last Saturday of the year. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The neighbor effect.
The neighbor effect. That's right. So if you have to pull the two of them, to give you an idea of
I
what's
think
happening.
my brother will win because he was earlier in time in the neighborhood.
Absolutely. Great. Now, the Honorable Andy Appiah-Kubi, I'll start off with you for good reason. Just brief comments on this. What we have just run through, what you're looking at, partly because your blood is red, blue, and white. Okay. How is that looking for you?
Well, to me, all the time, I don't underrate the value of research. So I take research very seriously. And this is an indication that we need to work harder. And indeed, the two candidates who are leading, they must work extra hard to be able to do the numbers. I think that, yes, generally, Dr. Baumia appears to be in the lead, but it is not settled yet because he hasn't crossed the 50% threshold. So it is still possible that another candidate can do better. When I look at the undecided figures, I still think that it is possible to even cause an upset. And we still have one month to go. So 1 month of intensive campaign and mobilizing the undecided voters and the not disclosed voters, I am very sure that a surprise can emerge. A surprise candidate in Dr. Brian Champon is also a possibility.
A surprise candidate in Dr. Brian Champon.
The interesting thing is that there is a likelihood of a second round. And if that second round comes, then no one of the three will be confident that I'm getting it. Because any one of the three can get it. Because particularly the person who comes second may be in the pole position to mobilize the others in pursuit of that 50% plus one. So it is not settled yet. And it is interesting because the incumbency advantage is not there. The incumbency disadvantage is there.
True.
I hope you get it.
Yes, I get it.
Because you cannot come from an administration that is perceived not to have done well and want to exonerate yourself from all wrongdoing. No, you can't do that. So the baggage will still be with you. And I'm sure that the delegates are mindful of that. Because at the last primaries, we're looking at 60, 65 numbers. Now we're talking 43. So it means that something has happened. And 1 month of political time is not easy time. So I'm sure that something drastic can happen and the dynamics might change.
And you say you see a surprise candidate?
I see a surprise candidate because most of the people who cannot disclose and most of the people who are undecided, I am very sure that those who are not disclosing, because I am from Dr. Brian Champon's camp, and I'm sure based on our profiling, which is not the results of the survey, I'm sure most of the undecided are with Dr. Brian Champon. So let's assume that he becomes second or third.
Yeah.
He will become the decider. Either he himself will decide for, or he will indicate where the voice will go.
So that's open disclosure. He's in Dr. Brian Champon's camp.
Oh, yes.
Yes, that one we know. Absolutely.
I mean, you know that I am always that kind of person.
Absolutely.
I have always been. All of them have called me and I have indicated to all of them that I support Dr. Brian Champon. And this is not a secret. Everybody knows that.
Perfect. Indeed. I know. I don't think Prof.
No, Martin knows it. I told him the last time.
Professor Boku, did you know this? Except that what?
Brian Champon, his support for violence, they will not hand over. He will never come near this throne. Never.
Why are you able to? You stick out your neck to make this.
No, unfortunately, you don't have the benefit of choosing. So I'm sure it remains your opinion.
It says you're not a delegate.
I am voting. I'm a delegate. So,
but the delegates are listening to us.
I can make a difference. And
I can also make a difference. The delegates are listening. When Akufo-Addo, you see, Etiwa, when he went and glamorized violence, you see, the violence he glamorized.
But eventually he became president.
We thought he had changed. And you saw the violence he unleashed on us. The haircuts, unparalleled haircuts. People died. Dr. Ejekun, so many people died and died. That was more violent than anything.
I think we're reading the research report.
Yes. So we're saying that Brian Champon, no, it's not digression. So once Brian Champon is shown that he's that violent, Ghanaians will not make that mistake.
I don't know the fetish that will make of.
There are better
I don't know the fetish that comes to him upon mention of President Akufo-Addo's name.
And we'll come to how he allowed Ofori-Atta to run out of Ghana.
Hold on.
We'll come to how Akufo-Addo allowed Ofori-Atta to
you have
run
been
out of Ghana.
consistent that, the NPP would only get your vote back if Patrick Boama or Kojo Oponkroma is on the ticket.
Yes, and that's in 2032. As for 2028, look, my brother, it's a lost cause. We are not kids. On what grounds? The money they've looted, why are we foolish? But you are part of become president.
You are part of.
You know, this is an allegation. You know, this is an allegation.
The cases in court are clear.
The cases.
The money they've looted. Why has Ofori-Atta fled? Why has he fled? If he was innocent, why wouldn't he sit here? Why would you stay in Ghana?
See the only person who is not in the country.
Let's put it all together.
So there's no way. 2028, I don't see NPP making any
that's your opinion.
Winning the elections. No, then it will suggest that we don't have human resources in Ghana. Abdullah can become president Professor Bopin is here. How can we vote for NPP? Why would we vote for NPP in 2028? It's a no-brainer.
Martin, are you not there?
Yes, so I can also do
also
it.
exclude you?
Exactly. And so you can also, and provided you are not on the ticket of the NPP. So we are sitting here, we also can perform the job. So what would make me want to vote for Bawumia?
You said
2028. No.
So you're still going with
Patrick Boama for 2032. Not 2028. As for 2028, let's be realistic. That thing belongs to NDC. 1.7 million votes.
How do you say that they're so confident?
So let's be scientific this way. Look, with JM having gotten close to, JM gave him Bawumia a gap. Bawumia asked for a gap. That the only thing left with is a gap. Let's give them a gap. And of course, JM gave him a gap, a very wide gap, about 1.7 million votes. Now, if you look at our electoral cycle and the way human beings, we are pragmatic, we are not idealistic. So in 4 years, unless the NDC government loots us far more than MPP looted, there's no chance that we'll vote MPP back in 4 years. No, unless the NDC loots well beyond Kennedy Apon's statement that MPP was looting like there was no tomorrow. So maybe they should be looting like there's no tomorrow to the highest degree, super looting.
Would that not be concerning that, we go into an election and our only measure of who is going to lead us is who has looted less?
Yes, because that's common sense. Because look, Mr. Okanse, every government comes and will do some programs in agric. Right? Every government, like in the previous regime, they tried their planting for food and jobs, except that it wasn't revolutionary enough, like what this current administration is doing with Nkokon Kitinkiti. That's a Feed Ghana project, Feed Ghana, the research agenda, right? So the previous government wasn't as daring, wasn't as bold, wasn't as revolutionary as this current government, right? Go to education. The current government is continuing. These policies
have just started.
Yeah, right.
They have just started.
Yes, but this time, JM knows that if he dare not fail, he himself knows that no, there's no space for failure. So it must only be a win, right? So you look at the sense of urgency, the vigor, etc. You see that this administration is far more purpose than Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo came in with free SHS. But free SHS, yes, and I'm a lifelong ambassador of free SHS. It's laudable, but it wasn't far-reaching enough. Agriculture was a low-hanging fruit where they were supposed to ramp up. And actually, that was the message he brought. And that's one of the reasons I voted for him, that they were going to ramp up a revolutionary agriculture that would deliver jobs and jobs and jobs. And then they did the opposite, right? Yes. So, so the whole thing is that when we say the one who loots far less will be the one to win, it makes sense. In other words, that's the one who keeps the public purse. In Akufo-Addo's regime, we lost the public purse. It ended up in his pocket, he and his family.
But you said, you promised us that you were going to take him on.
Yes.
You still have a 3-year period.
Yeah, now 2 years left. 1 year is gone. Yes. This is December. 2 years. Yes, hopefully, because you see, anybody knowing, if you are pragmatic, I can take Akufo-Addo on well when Kissi Ejabi is no longer special prosecutor. Kissi Ejabi is already shown that he's playing for them.
You're bringing conditions to the promise you made.
Yes, at that time, I didn't know Kissi Ejabi was going to play for Akufo-Addo. You saw how he started the SML
but
investigations.
you made the promise that you would. But there are other ways.
Yes, but I want the criminal one. But you see how Kissi Ejabi allowed Oforiatta to flee before he started investigations. If I send Akufo-Addo's petition, that's the same thing.
No, but there are other ways to still.
Yes,
you can bring a civil action.
Yes, but I just hope.
Under Article 41.
Yes, but you know something? Thankfully, under Section 15 of the OSP Act, once I presented my petition, the president has 7 days to send it to the Chief Justice. The 7 days have elapsed. It elapsed on 17th of December because I presented it on 11th.
Okay.
The Chief Justice, also under Section 15 of the same law, has 30 days. After the 30 days, I pray that he will make a prima facie determination that Kissi must answer some of the charges. And once that is made, within 2 weeks, 14 days, they must set up a committee, and the committee must finish its work, like the way for the Poaman committee. They must finish within 90 days. So all I'm saying in one word is that in the next 4 to 5 months, if my petition works, Kisi Ejabin should be out. So when we get a better manager of the OSP, then I can put in my petition. Because
but then again, that's what I'm saying, that the promise that you made
yes,
was not
Unconditional.
conditional. It was an unconditional
oh, don't worry. In
promise
4 to 5 months,
that
we'll
you
get
said
to know.
you will take up and pursue
the case is there.
the former President Akufo-Addo
Yes.
on matters of, as you
Yes,
allege,
I've not hidden
corruption.
it. I've not hidden. It's the case of Manasseh Azure's investigation, the 500 million, what do you call
But
it, contract.
you are
Later
waiting for another special prosecutor.
Yes, because
Until that is done, then what?
Oh, if we are just waiting for about 4 or 5 months to know whether Kisi
So
will
if it
leave
doesn't
or not.
happen, then what?
And then I have to review, but whichever way, at least, hopefully, there will be some reforms. Because even the president said the office should show relevance. So assuming Kisi doesn't even leave, I expect that in the middle of the road, there will be reforms. So that henceforth, when you send a petition to the office, Kisi Ejabin alone will not sit on it like what he did to the SML and allow the Furiata to run away from this country. Okay. That won't happen again. Right. So that when I present my petition, we expect that under a new law, it will go to a committee. Kisi Ejabin sat on several petitions.
So that's all I needed from you. The people who are watching keep reminding me about that promise that you made.
And the case is there. Manasseh is alive. Manasseh is my witness. The fumigation contract.
So the countdown is on.
Yes. So in 4 to 5 months, we'll know.
But then, in running up, Professor Bob can bring you in. That's for Lamatik Bebo has been consistent. He's a lifelong ambassador for free SHS. But he says he would only look the NPP's way if Patrick Buama and Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah become flag bearer and running mate. Either way.
Yeah, one of them for flag bearer. Then another candidate from the north.
I see.
Yeah, it's become conventional.
Okay, great. Thank you. Prof, you see, I'm not drawing you into the politics of things, right? But you see the economy still being the bigger decider for 2028, as we saw in 2024.
Well, thank you very much. I understand GDP very well and associated figures. I've not followed the poll that much and all of that, but reflecting on your question, I think the economy will still dominate. At least in the last couple of rounds of the survey CDD does.
The Afrobarometer.
Yes, Afrobarometer consistently put the economy more or less at the forefront. And so far, if you look at this year, the economy has not responded optimally when it comes to job creation. We've made some progress and all of that, but we are not in the zone where the economy is delivering sufficient jobs, decent jobs, especially in the formal wage economy. Unemployment is still a big issue, even though the latest release indicate that it is marginally and all of that. So the economy will continue to dominate. It's not only Ghana. We have a youthful population. Between now and 2030 or 2040, our population will be 45 million. 30% of that population will be less than 30 years. They probably would have finished free senior high school, half-baked, enter the universities, and will be looking for jobs that probably exist in the textbooks and all of that. So those are the issues that will be confronted. If you look at the data, the World Bank told us that between 2012 and 2023, this economy on net basis has created just around 250,000 jobs. Within that same space, 2.7 million Ghanaians have entered the labor market annually. Close to 500,000 Ghanaians enter the labor market annually. So the economy will continue to dominate, especially when we are talking about job-rich growth. So for Ghana, and that is the reason why we should be careful when we celebrate GDP growth. Okay, we have moved beyond that.
GDP.
We are looking for job-rich growth. We are looking for inclusive growth because we are sitting on a time bomb. Okay. And in fact, there's a reason why you see a lot of countries have moved beyond glorifying GDP. And in fact, others even call GDP as gross domestic product. Problem, not product. Gross domestic problem. Okay, so we need to understand our population demographics. We need, in fact, across the world, by 2050, we are told that 1 out of every 5 working population will be an African. Okay.
Yeah.
And the rest of them.
Because of the population
so if
boom.
you look at the dynamics, look, the stress is just too much. Some years back, decades back, we felt that by going to school was one way of crossing the poverty line, even if you didn't see the line. Now people have finished school, some 5 years and the rest of them. And that's why you see our politics is becoming violent, because it appears it's the only way you can get something now, even if your competence didn't really or couldn't guarantee you that. So the economy will continue to dominate. And I'm sure that is where I see a bit of a challenge with the former vice president, because of how the economy performed over the 8 years. And because the trump card had been that he was going to do something about the economy and all of that. So I'm hoping that.
So that's
the party,
predicate on how the economy will be in 2028, assuming he is elected as flag bearer.
in either way, 2028 is going to be very difficult for the NPP. That is how I see it. If you look at the gap in terms of the vote numbers in 2024, and you compare that to what happened in 2016, and how long it took to close that gap and go into deficit in terms of unless something extraordinary happens, like we say in Ghana, it is not the opposition that wins, it's the incumbent that loses. So a lot will depend on how the current administration manages the economy, especially how they choose the successor to President Mahama, and how they manage all of that. But I lean towards a certain philosophy that says that if I had my own way, I would just tell all these headline people, take a back seat. You understand?
You are with Lawyer Matikebo on this.
I don't know, but the MPP should forgive me. I mean, this is not my area. I'm just
okay.
Allow me. They should allow me to make some mistakes.
You will feel sick, no seat. No.
So
you live in the economy, so you know.
If all of this is geared towards coming to power, then they should look at it carefully. And all of that, probably ahead of 2028 or so. But
so, because Jonathan Diape could be put his money on Dr. Brian Champong as the unifier, the new face, that kind of person who, will make a difference. And he's not changing his mind anytime soon. You're going with it.
Powerless.
Okay. Gentlemen, let me bring in Justice Abdullahi on this quickly. Just briefly on this.
But I mean, if I may, Honorable, why do you bank your hopes on Brian with the figures he's getting when you confess that you appreciate research better, and your candidate is nowhere close to even.
My hope comes from the undecided.
But if you put the undecided plus the
then he will make a difference.
No,
then he will.
Let's put it together. How many people are undecided? 9%.
19.
Or 19 now?
No, 9%.
9
now.
That's what I hear.
Plus 11.
Plus 11. That's 20.
20.
Add it to his. In fact, add all the other ones to his.
No. Let's say it's 23 now. We have 1 year, one
more month
to go, and don't discount.
You are working hard.
Don't discount the value of.
So
1
you
month in
actually
politics.
believe, hopefully, being possibly, with the heart of a
Even
nurse,
if he doesn't.
that from
Remember
20,
you are a lawyer.
with the heart of a nurse, that from 20 you cross 51 in a month.
No.
When
I'm not
it has taken you
suggesting that we can
close to a year.
No. I'm not
But anyway,
suggesting that
yes.
he can even make 51. What I'm suggesting is that
Yes.
if we put all the numbers together and he's able to say
25. Let's make it 25.
Become the second
Yes.
or
Actually,
even the third.
from the records.
Listen, or even the third.
Yes.
Is he not going to be the one who will decide who becomes president?
Okay, so
In the
that is
event that
with
he
the
himself doesn't-
presumption that everyone else remains the same, whilst he gets all the other ones.
Yeah, but
we've seen some movement.
Anyway, let's move.
in fact, this,
So my whole point
primaries
is this.
is about 3 people, and that's what we see.
Oh, okay. Right. So my whole point is this. Let's look at 2016. John Mahama as against Akufo-Addo. About 1.2 million votes difference. That took JMS out of office. We move on to 2020 election. And the gap was almost negligible between the two sides. Now, this clearly, if you look at the trend from a huge margin to a complete drop, I think it was just about 100,000 difference in the 2020 elections. Now, so about 1 million of those votes vanished. You move to 2024.
Between
the same candidate.
It came to about 500,000. They have it from the 1 million.
From 1 million
to about
over.
500.
Actually, almost a million.
No,
That's in 2016.
The 2016.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Then
Then it came down to about 500.
Good. And then you come to 2024.
Yeah.
Even though Akufo-Addo had left the scene, but so this time you move on, you probably make it party. Now, between the same two parties,
Yeah, the gap.
from a person who lost with 1 million, let's adopt the 1 million vote, now stretches, in fact, from negativity to making it even, and now jumping to almost 2 million difference between the same candidate, in fact, the same political parties. And then you say that in 2028, what happens?
They can lose all this.
Are you saying that the whole 2 million will be vanished or to be halved for NPP or whoever emerges from the NPP side to become a president?
Okay.
I think that's statistically near impossible. Statistically, it's almost impossible.
You're basing
Asking fish to
just
climb the
on
tree.
statistics.
Yes, of course.
A lot happens beyond statistics.
Right.
So
So-
you don't want to box yourself into that.
Actually, I would want to box myself in the statistics because everything is about the numbers. And so if there could be other factors that could change that. But clearly, that's why I started from the 2016 elections. So within this space, if this could happen, my whole point is this. It is arguably, in fact, talking to my colleagues and friends in the NPP, their advice was that possibly, if they did not contest the next election, it would be better. Because regardless of what Martin
How is that
says,
possible?
right? Regardless of what Martin says, that it will take about a gargantuan looting for the MDC to lose the next election. I do not think that is a possibility happening, regardless of how gargantuan the looting would be. I see this from a realistic perspective, that the next election is a foregone conclusion, particularly when you take into consideration, now I take myself out of the statistical box, to the comments made by Ken over the years about all the people contesting and how those comments would impact. In fact, and the comments that are still coming, insulting the leading candidate, however, whether he wins or not is immaterial. But if your candidate, your most preferred candidate,
You mean Dr. Baumia?
Yes, is constantly under attack with all kinds of unsavory, unprintable words
By the closest.
by the closest person. And either of the two could win. Don't be surprised to lose the next election because the same comment will be played back, whether in your favor or against you. Now, you have consistently attacked everybody in the political space, particularly within the NPP.
You mean
That's
Kenneth
Ken.
Japon?
Everyone. Just a couple of weeks ago, Sarah Ajosafo came out with some of those viral attacks on her person and on other women, generalizing it to other women. Then there were other people who brought about the attacks on pastors and other well-meaning individuals within this space. Now you have the candidate himself being under constant attack, being called a liar and all kinds of things. So would you be surprised if tomorrow we bring all these back? In fact, in the last election, those same comments, those same attacks were played back against Dr. Baumia when Ken and his compatriots kept accusing Dr. Baumia of superintending over a failed economy, economy that used to be from a dollar rate of about 3 cedis to 16 and 17 cedis, and all kinds of negative comments. So my whole point is this: you can go into these elections with some level of decorum rather than the personality attacks and all of that. Because if you don't want the numbers to go against you, then you should as well guide your words. The kind of things you say are material, because they are the things that, for those of us who sit on the fence, would rely on and vote against you or in your favor. Without any apology. In 2016, I voted for Akufo-Addo because at the time, the elections were just clear that Mahama had superintended over a governance system that was completely failing. with Dumso and corruption almost on daily basis. And so clearly, Akufo-Addo became a preferred candidate. Right. So it was not a surprising thing that he won by 1 million votes. But that ended my vote for Akufo-Addo.
Okay.
And I'm sure most people here would say the same thing. Like my very good friend, Ndia Piakubi, in fact, he will never vote for Akufo-Addo even until the day he dies. If Akufo-Addo was to become.
But the good thing is that he's not going to contest in the election.
Even if he did, even if he were to make any difference. And just imagine, he is coming from within, in fact, more within than any of us here. So, but my whole point is that.
But you did not solicit my view.
Well, because you have been a very good friend. So I know. I know.
Let's round this up.
I'm a very good friend. So
round it up for me.
After all these years, so my whole point is that we should go into this election where, with this mindset that we have to guard what we say, how we say what we say, and project the candidates such that if Ghanaians decide to look other way, I mean, just in case JM's election, let's remember that most of the times, the real deciding factors occur in the last year or two before the elections.
True.
And so the first year, usually you don't get much controversies. Second year, things begin to take shape and stabilize. The third year is where all the pressures from stabilizing your roots in government and also, of course, making all the unpopular or sometimes even popular decisions that would get you the next vote.
Thank you.
And so all these things could play a lot of role in deciding whether the current system that we are witnessing will remain the same or go negative.
Perfect. Thank you. Justice Abdullahi Aldis, while we round up, Mr. Dankwa,
Yes.
When is the next poll expected to come up?
24th of January.
24th January. That's about almost a month away from now.
Yes.
And that's
Why do we have to wait
for the next
so long?
election?
That'll
be a week before the election.
Trying to determine how the votes should be on the 31st.
Because 24th
sure
will be
that-
just some
Yeah, 1 week before the election.
5 days. Yes, sir. About a week.
Yeah.
A week before the elections.
At that point, we could make fair assumptions about the behavior of undecided voters.
Right.
We haven't got much time for them to change. If you allow them long time, within that period, there will be some blind spot and you could be taking...
7 days is enough time to flip someone's mind.
No, but we'll see. Remember, we'll be tracking the poll from 1st January all the way to the end. So we'll see the pattern of behavior these people are exhibiting.
But
I see.
what I will advise you is that leave space for error margin.
We always have margin of error.
There's a possibility of a surprise. to
We
you.
always have margin of error.
Yes, and I'm assuring you
margin of error will never
that
be
there is a
20%.
possibility
No,
of a
it's
surprise.
2%.
You are banking your hopes on a surprise.
There will be a surprise.
There will be a
that
surprise.
will go contrary to the expectations of statistics.
And that will not be
Alfred,
research.
Alfred,
It cannot be research based.
That will not be research.
but then, you see, if you look at it, this is it. And I actually wanted to, it gives us a clear picture of how things are playing
Yes.
out right now. This is it, right? Let's put this on the screen. In terms of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's
To
stronghold,
the entire north.
right? Northeast, northern.
is this based
upper
on
west.
what?
That's the
Strongholds.
Based on what data?
The likely voters. That is the breakdown that you put
So
up.
who did this?
No, I don't think. No, look, what we have right now.
Right.
Ken is only leading in Central region and Volta region.
Central and Volta.
Yes. And Ashanti region is a tie in Ashanti region. Everywhere else, Bawumia is leading, with no less than 5 points.
I see. That's a very, very interesting play out of events, is it not?
Yeah.
So just Central and Volta
It's Kennedy
leading.
And in Ashanti region, it's tie in Ashanti region. The rest of the regions, he leads comfortably. Western North, slightly closer, but he's still ahead.
Right. So these are the typical strongholds of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. You see that. Thank you very much, gentlemen. But then you talk about, Abdullahi talked about the aftermath of the poll. You asked a question, will there be unity after the campaign? 89% of respondents said yes.
Yes.
That answers your question. Okay?
But the growing worry is that in the current poll, those who said no has jumped 6%, reflecting the sentiments of delegates from the weeks of campaign and the insult. And that is what they should be worried about.
Interesting. That's what Abdullahi
Unfortunately.
highlighted. Zidakwa, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. And I know that the weekly poll you're going to be doing from January even though you don't want to put it out, we'll have a sneak preview of it, and let's
I
see
think
how the
that'd be very good
24th.
to know.
Yeah.
We won't let you know.
No. See,
Okay, I'm running now. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us, and happy New Year, because I'm not going to see you before the end of the year. So happy New Year to you, and all the best.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. Musa Dankwa is.
why is he leaving?
Yes, he's going to take leave of
Maybe
us.
we should be asking Mr. Dankwa. Can't he ask the people
after-
that when Brian
Our sentiment.
Gentlemen, thank you.
So that we take the
No, you are here.
After bringing up the temperatures, you want to leave.
This is so unfair.
No, he has to take leave of us. So, Musa Dankwa is the lead
Merry
researcher,
Christmas to you.
the exec director of Global Info Analytics, joining us this morning.